Okay, so we've all been there, right? Stuck in that conversation that's just going nowhere. In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how to turn that forgettable small talk into a real, genuine connection.
You know that feeling, don't you? You're talking, but nothing's really being said. You ask about the weather, they ask about your weekend, and then crickets. That awkward silence. The whole conversation just fizzles out, and you can practically feel the energy draining out of the room. It's not just awkward, it's a totally missed opportunity to connect.
Now look, small talk isn't the enemy here. It's actually a pretty important starting point. It's how we all feel out the situation and make sure everyone's comfortable. But the trap is staying there too long. Because when a conversation never gets past the surface, the emotion just cools off. The energy goes totally flat, and the whole thing becomes completely forgettable.
So here's the most important piece of the puzzle. When a conversation has zero emotional spark, a real bond is basically impossible. Think about it. We don't connect over dry facts. We connect over feelings. Without that emotional layer, you can't really build a bridge from your world to theirs.
So, what is the key? It's emotion. It's that simple. To make any conversation interesting, memorable, you got to tap into feelings. And I'm talking about things like excitement, curiosity, nostalgia, or even just sharing a laugh. That's where the real magic happens.
What this really shows is a huge shift in our whole approach. So instead of just asking for surface-level stuff, the what and where, we need to start asking about the experience behind it. We're looking for the motivation, the memories, the feelings. That is the gateway to someone's real story.
All right, so how do we actually do this? Let's get practical. Let's look at how we can transform those standard, everyday questions into an invitation for a much, much deeper conversation. Take this classic opener. What do? That usually just gets you a one-word answer, right? I'm a lawyer. I'm a teacher. But asking, what made you choose that field? That changes everything. That's not just asking for a job title. It's asking for a story about passion or maybe a big turning point in their life.
Here's another one we all use. Where are you from? That gives you a dot on a map. But asking, what was your childhood like there? Wow. That opens the door to personal memories, to feelings, to actual experiences. Suddenly you're not just talking about a place. You're talking about a piece of their life.
And the same thing goes for hobbies. Instead of just getting a list of activities, asking for their best memory connects that hobby to a real positive emotion. They actually get to relive a great moment, and you get to share in that feeling. The pattern here is super clear. We're always looking for the story behind the fact.
So as you start asking these deeper questions, you gotta watch for the signs that you've hit on something really important to them. You'll literally see it. Their eyes will light up, their facial expressions will change, their hands will start moving more, they might even start talking a little faster. These are big, bright green lights telling you, yes, this matters to me. And your only job at that point is to lean in and get curious.
Okay, but asking the right questions, that's only half the battle. Seriously. The other half is all about how you listen. And I'm not talking about that mechanical head-nodding stuff we were all taught. We need to go way deeper than that.
Some of us learned this active listening technique where you just nod and repeat the last few words they said, but people can feel it when you're just following a script. Authentic listening is about a genuine reaction. It's being curious enough to ask a follow-up question because you actually want to know the answer, not because a textbook told you to.
And really, that's the heart of it all. Being truly present with someone. Not thinking about what you're going to say next, not glancing at your phone, but giving them your 100% undivided attention. That is the most powerful way to show you care. It truly is a gift.
And now for the final and maybe most important piece of this. Because all of this only works if one condition is met. People will only share their real stories, their real feelings, if they feel safe. If they sense even a tiny hint of judgment from you, believe me, those walls go right back up.
So this is the mindset you have to adopt. A deep conversation is not a debate. The goal is not to prove who's right or who's wrong or to win some kind of argument. The goal is to understand and to connect. You have to shift your entire focus from winning to just finding what you share.
And what does that common ground look like? Well, it could be a shared emotion, like feeling nervous before a big event. It might be a similar experience you've both had, even if the details are different. Or hey, it could just be a similar way of thinking about something. Just find that one little point of overlap, and that's where a real connection starts to grow.
So let's pull all of this together into a really simple formula you can literally use in your very next conversation.
First, you've got the 3 core skills we've been talking about.
1. Ask questions that invite a story, not just a fact. 2. Listen with real presence and curiosity. And 3. Create a safe, non-judgmental space where someone feels totally comfortable opening up.
And really, all those skills are powered by 3 simple ingredients. It's not about some fancy technique. It's all about your mindset. You just need genuine curiosity, kind listening, and a non-judgmental space. That's it. That's the entire recipe for connection.
When you get right down to it, building a real connection isn't some big mystery. It's a choice. It's a choice to go beyond the surface and to show a sincere, genuine interest in the human being standing right in front of you. So really, the only question left is, how deep will you choose to go?